What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we are going to take a look at the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 2001 Heat Ray version. This version of Godzilla 2001 looks like he's charging up or shooting the atomic ray. Another repaint in the lineup in case anyone missed out on the original release. Will this be a suitable replacement? Well, we're here to find out, so let's not waste any more time and go right in. Godzilla's sculpt is great. The paint job, though, is just average. It's nothing special. The base color is a darker gray compared to the first GMK Goji figure, where that figure was a much lighter gray. It looks really nice here with the darker gray, but everything else? I've seen custom Atomic Breath Godzilla 2001 figures look a lot better than this. Bandai could have done better here. I'm not even going to touch upon the teeth. The paint on them is bad, end of story. The inside of the mouth, the metallic blue should not be there, because all it does is make the figure look awkward without a beam effect. More on that later. And yes, I know that Godzilla's mouth does light up sometimes before shooting the atomic ray, but it still looks a little bit awkward here. The claws had some questionable paint on the previous release, and it wasn't really approved upon here. Remember how the first release had some brown? That returns here. It doesn't look bad, but I am in the camp where a lighter gray would have looked much better if that was the one that was dry brushed on. You can also see that the blue on the back of the neck to the upper back looks really bad. The shading doesn't line up at all. It looks like the neck was painted separately from the upper back. The dorsal plates have a dark blue that transitions into a white without any transparency. It doesn't look that good. Yes, this figure is not translucent, which would have really benefited the figure to make it look a lot better and even pop in some lighting. It would have really made a world of a difference for this figure. Sculpt is awesome, resembles GMK Goji, but the paint is lazy. That's the best way to describe it. It's lazy.
I have stated before that Godzilla 2001's articulation was actually pretty good, and it's the same thing here, but since it's been a while since my older, not very good review of the original Godzilla 2001, I will gladly go over it in detail here. Head is on a ball joint right here, also on a ball joint on the neck, so there's like, yeah, three series ball joints in the neck and head, and unfortunately, mine does have a tendency to pop out a lot. Mouth is on a ball joint, and tongue is also on a ball joint, though mine is pretty stiff, and since it's on a tiny joint, you don't want to move it too much, otherwise you'll, break it. Good. Although he does have a bit of an issue looking left and right, because, it's not... Yeah, it's a little bit stiffer than others, but hey, looking up and down works just fine. Arms on ball joints. Biceps are also on ball joints. Elbows are on ball joints, although the elbows here do have less movement than other Godzillas, so don't expect full 90-degree movement and him to bend it out straight. Hands on ball joints. Ball joint right here and here in the waist and torso. What the fuck? So in total, he could crunch forward just about this far, although do keep in mind this top joint will cause some very major gapping, and he can crunch backward about this far, and he can also lean. Ah, Jesus Christ. Well, you get the idea. Legs are on ball joints. What the hell? Ugh. Okay. That did not happen to me before, so of course it has to happen to me now, right? Legs on ball joints, so he could kick forward. Actually, you know what? It's actually a full 360, so you're not limited with the range. Knees are on a bit of a swivel hinge system, as you saw earlier. So it does have pretty much double hinge movement, almost. Oh, you saw it right there. Yeah, this knee part is actually a pocket, so keep that in mind, that the knees do fall apart easily if you move them to the max, but other than that, they work just fine. Ankle joint movement, so we get some decent ankle rocker. Not bad at all. And tail is on a many series of ball joints. And Godzilla 2001 definitely has the more articulated tails because he has a lot of range, and I mean a lot of range. So Godzilla 2001, I've stated before, and I will state it once again, that his articulation is pretty solid. Yes, the joints do tend to fall apart sometimes if you moved them to the max, but if you know how to handle your figures, you can get them into some pretty cool poses like this.
What accessories does Godzilla come with? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yes, an atomic breath figure coming with no beams. This isn't Godzilla 2021, where we already had numerous releases of the Monsterverse beam. There's no beam action for this GMK Goji. You need to borrow a beam from Godzilla 94 or make your own. Big, fat, epic fail for this one, Bandai. Shame on you. Here's the size comparison with other figures you may or may not own, in case anyone is curious. Godzilla 2001 is one of the bigger Godzillas in the line, some bulk and some height. He's not the biggest, but still chunky. Here's Heat Ray version Godzilla with the original 2001 Godzilla release. The only difference is that the original Godzilla 2001 looks better. It's honestly no contest. I prefer the original. The Heat Ray version is here as a mediocre replacement and stand-in for those that don't have the original release, and nothing more. The only benefit the repaint has is the darker gray base color. That's it. Okay, if I haven't made it clear already, I don't think this figure is very good, and is very much overpriced. $100. The original was also a web exclusive, and had no accessories, but was $20 less at MSRP, so what the hell happened besides inflation? You'll probably get some enjoyment if you don't have the original release, and if that's the case, then go for it. But if you have the original release, then there's zero reason to pick this repaint up. The figure gets a 5 out of 10. The figure was doomed from the start, and I had every right to expect better with this release, since previous Spitfire Godzilla releases were pretty good. But this one, not so much.